Hi, good evening. Welcome once again to Mike at Night. Today is Thursday. We are on every Thursday around this time, about 8 o'clock it is, and we run till 9 o'clock. We look forward to seeing you every time when you come here. And let me tell you, we are going to be discussing a topic today that is going to be very important. The reason why we are in this revolving relationship from time to time, and we're going to give you some clues as to how you could now correct some of those issues. Okay, so let's take a break and we'll be right back. In the meanwhile, share the live. We'll be right back. Hey, if you are having difficulty in your marriage or in your relationship and you need someone to speak with privately and confidentially, then call me, Michael Stewart. We can do face to face or virtually any part of the world. If your relationship is worth saving, call 868 688 5363 or go to my website www.michaeletstewart.com. Don't wait until it's too late. Get counseling. Okay, all right. Yes, my name is Michael Stewart. Pleased to meet you. And I hope that you have been following our program from time to time. And if you are new on the program, we welcome you. We always welcome somebody who's new coming on our programs. Yeah. So, as we said, we're going to be discussing the whole aspect of why is it that people are in such a revolving relationship, revolving door relationship, if you want to call it that. Yes. So we move from one relationship to the next over and over and over again. Let me make sure that I'm getting to see you people on the live. Yeah. Let me remove that pin. Yes. All right. So there we are. So make sure you share the live with somebody. What we're asking you to do is to go on your page, click share, and share it back on your page, so that other people will be able to know that we are on and get the value out of today's program. We will really appreciate that. Let me say hello to Charmin. Good to see you. A regular listener. Joy, regular also. Joan Bob Ward, good evening to you. Nice having you. Candice Alexander. I think we need to start having some frequent flyer recognition to some of you all. Yes. Let me also commend Dr. Joan Bob Ward for a marvelous program she had last night. She had an excellent speaker, a gentleman. Oh my goodness, I forgot his name. But he shared, they had this $200 discussion that was going on, that he had, I think he put some spoke in some people's wheel, but he didn't put water in his mouth to talk last night. But he was good and well represented, and a number of people came out to listen to that. And that program is Hope in Action, and they are on Wednesdays, and from about 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock. Dr. Anthony Rayborn, that's his name, Dr. Anthony Rayborn. Yes. So I will take the opportunity to just tell Dr. Bob if she could just send me her flyer, and probably what I could do. Hers is on a Wednesday, and so once she has the information in advance, I could promote it here so that you can follow it Wednesday following, and so you'll be able to have both Wednesday and Thursday with action going down the line, and the topics that go on are really insightful topics. All right, so we're talking today about this revolving door relationship, and I just want to give you five steps. And the gentleman who spoke last night had such insight. He gave 3 steps. 3 of them are part of the 5 steps that I promote. But you could really do well with the 3. You can always condense them into the 3 steps. But I want to talk about what are some of the issues that we struggle with in relationships. I keep meeting people who say that they have been in a relationship. I'm afraid when I meet friends now and I meet people to ask them, how's your boyfriend? How's your husband? How's your wife? How's your girlfriend? I'm afraid to ask them, honestly, because you could see the embarrassment when they tell you, no, me and he done, or me and she separate. It seems as though nothing lasts again. What is going on? I know of people who are married 50 years, 55 years. My brother and I married over 50 years already. And we have people 1 year they can't stay together. Oh no, yeah. I don't know the Spanish word for year. They can't stay together at all. I met somebody, they were married 1 day. They separate the same day that they got married because they fall out and they call it off. I said, but this is madness. This has to be madness. You understand? This is not a fetting here. This is madness. That is a calypso from Trinidad and Tobago. All right. So let me tell you, you people, before we get into those five things. Every time you walk out of a relationship, you don't really only start over, you are set back. Let me say that again. Every time you walk out of a relationship, you do not only just start over, you are set back. You are set back financially. Worse yet, when you are going out and dating with a person who says you cannot take me out with $200, you have to take me out with $800 or $1,000 or $1,500. Think of it, that you are going out with a person with for $1,500 and that does not work out, and you have to start all over again. You are set back financially already. That is craziness. So all of those mad people who touting all of this money thing and so on for a date makes no sense. And while I'm at it, one of the things, I am married now 37 years. I courted for 4 years. So do the maths. So that's about 41 years. And when I was courting my wife and I tried to take her out on a date, this was her position. She will pay for whatever she eats or whatever it is she takes because she wanted to be obligated to no man. I had a little problem with that. She also said that even if she has to pay for both of us, she'll prefer her to pay that than for me to pay for her. And she's obligated to me in one way or the other. I guess her mother or her family must be teach whenever a man do something for you, there's always want something back. But take that from 41 years ago, where a woman felt that I need to make a contribution. So today, when a woman is saying, I'm not making a single cent contribution, you had better make it, and not just make it small, but make it big. Then God save the queen. That is what we reach to in this day and age. Yes. So I want you all to give your comments as are going along. You don't wait for me to come and ask you all to. Just feel free to talk. Yes. John, boy, I tell him, I figure them flowers have to be plastic. Them flowers, they look too bright to be natural. Yes. Greetings from she's on work at this hour of the at the time. Thank you very much, June, for joining us all the way from the States. Maria Boyce. Hey, got a chance to meet Maria Boyce in St. Lucia. Hey, boy, I tell him, she filled my heart with philosophic joy when I saw her. Hey, nicely. Bernadette Adams, good evening. So we're talking about this mad situation that we call love and relationship. So I'm saying that every time you come out of a relationship, you are set back, and now in today's mentality of a woman, you are really set back by miles financially. If you have to be going out, and let's say you go out with that same person for a date 5 times at $1,500, and then that does not work into marriage, where does that leave you? Are you all mad people? You all is crazy? Half of you all, they need a certain brain retooling. That could never make sense. Yeah, it cannot make sense. So let me tell you, and I'll tell you a little hint here, because some of you all probably don't know it. But sometimes when I meet with some of these ladies who are so big in the dance, and who says, "Well, I have to maintain myself, and I have to maintain my nails and my figure and my hair and all of that, and he has to be able to do that and pay for that and so on." Sometimes I sit down with them in sessions, and they are not even in a relationship of any worth or substance or steadying. One would think that if you are such a high price, you would have been in a relationship long time, settled down. They're unmarried. And even not only just unmarried, not even in a steady relationship. I know of none of them. Well, they may have some, but I know of none of them who are so high priced, who are talking about all of this thing, and in a marital relationship for years, settled down and prime. If you know of somebody, give them my number and tell them, give me a call and talk to me. My number is 868-688-5363. Sometimes the service provider does cut me, and you might get a voice on the line talking to you instead of me. But don't worry, I will find some stuff to put that back on. It is 868-688-5363. Tell them I say so. It's about time we bring all of this nonsense to a complete halt. And that was completely explained last night on that program, Hooper in Action. So, oh, you're asking me to repeat the question. I will go there just now. Bernadette, when I invite someone out to lunch or breakfast, I always pay for the meal. Yeah, if you only want equality, why not pay for the meal? You're absolutely right, Bernadette. Janine Cooks, good evening. Yes. Yes, oh yes, all the flowers are natural. I know that, but it's just looking so gorgeous. Okay, Maria is trying. Oh, I wonder if this person has logged in yet. They said that they were trying to log in, but they're not getting to log in. So I don't know what's causing that. Okay, because their maintenance too high, so they end up alone. Chatting with a lady recently. Here's the lady. I don't give my heart to no man. So we had a chat, and I asked her, well, tell me about some of these relationships that you're in and so on. Over the last year, she has probably changed relationships 4 times. Divide 12 months by 4 and see how long her relationship lasts. Yeah? 12 months by 4, and you'll see. She said, well, I don't care about that. It doesn't matter because I'm not giving my heart anyway. But there must be some emotional bankruptcy that person must be going through to be walking in and out of a relationship with no feelings. So I knew that there must be something further, more compelling inside of her life. She's driven. So she's driven by hurt. She's driven. John said, oh, John divided. So, spring, summer, autumn, and winter. Yeah? All right. So she had a relationship for every season. Every season. That was she had. So she is driven by numbness. You see, if somebody keeps giving their heart, getting hurt, coming out of relationship, giving their heart, getting hurt, coming out of relationship, then I'm telling you that sooner or later, that person becomes emotionally numb. And that's what a lot of people experiencing, numbness in relationship. You hit somebody at the same spot often enough, they no longer would feel the pain to the extent of when you got the first lash. In fact, if you continue to hit them, they no longer will feel the lash. I'm telling you. And a lot of people emotionally numb, emotionally unavailable. Don't get in no relationship with them, especially when you hear a guy say he passed through so many women, and a woman say she had so much body count and so on. You watch that. They can't love after a while. Tell them Stuart say so. Mike at Night say so. When you have had that sort of situation, does a prostitute get, and I'm not calling these people prostitute, I'm just showing you, when you have passed through a number of people, it is pure business after that. Pure business. Edward Jones, rock and come in. Yeah? You all share the life, share the life. So you are set back emotionally and financially, but you are also set back chronologically. Because while you are there going from relationship to relationship through this revolving door, your age does not stop and wait for your foolishness and wait for you to wise up. You keep getting older and older and older. Yeah. So while there are some genuine people who have so much love to give, cannot get somebody to settle down, whether it's a woman or a man, cannot get somebody serious enough to settle down. And many of those people I have met not settling for riffraff just because they're getting older. They rather not get into a relationship than rush into a relationship just to tell people I have a man or I have a woman. Yeah? And I respect those people. I respect them. They're not going to be going jumping in and jumping out and so on. Nobody must, I've gone to school with some girls. And there are some girls that I went to school with that I see even now. And I say, since in school, nobody could have pointed their finger at that girl. Because they weren't in this kind of hanky panky and move from one place to the next. They held themselves. They held themselves well. And after school, they still held themselves well. No guy in our time, no contemporary of mine, could ever point at some of those ladies and say, I passed through that. Or I passed there and I hit that. Never. Because them girls did not mess. And they were highly respected. So there are some. There are many like that. And for those who wonder if there are men like that too, the answer is yes. I have also met men who say, I am not going and have sex with women just because I'm horny. They say so. They would save it for a woman that is settling down with, and they're dead serious. I've met those men, and I believe them. Andre Steele, he said, I don't want to get hurt again. Andre, you've been hurt before, my boy? Yeah? Talk to me, Andre. Hey, by the way, you could call on the WhatsApp. You could get a free call on the WhatsApp. 868-688-5363. If you want, make the call. That is 868-688-5363. Andre, if you want to talk, let me talk. He said he got hurt twice. Well, Andre boy, my first hurt, I get fever and I lose weight. Trust me. One of the things, gym fees that you're paying, I could have saved that gym fee because I lost weight without going to gym. Good evening, Camille Dennison McIntyre. Nice having you. Lyndon, Joefield, good, nice. Joy said she sung banged up by someone she really did love. Damn. And when people in these long-term relationships without commitment, here's the question I usually ask when I'm sitting down, especially with women. Because I think women come out with the bad end of the stick. Okay, Andre, I respect that. Thank you very much. I think women come out with the bad end of the stick. Because here's what. They're with a man 10, 15 years, 16, 17 years, 20 years. They're with a man 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, and the man is not committing to anything serious. You have a visiting relationship or you have a common law relationship. But what guarantee you have that if he passes suddenly, that you are secure? All right. So here's the analogy that I give these women. If I have a car, I've had the car for 15 years. I lend you that car because I'm leaving the country, and you keeping that car and you using that car for the next 8 years. I out of the country for a while and so on. So the car is quite used and old, and you have had it. I was using it before. Now I'm giving it to you to use. You are using it. So you glad to have it. You couldn't afford a new car anyway. So you glad to have it. So you have the car. All you following me? Pay attention now, people. So I come back into the country now. But by then, your circumstances in life has changed. And you can afford a new car. But you have my car. You didn't buy a new car because you have my car at your disposal. So there was no need to buy a car. But now you could afford a car. And I say, boy or girl, you see the car? Go ahead and buy the car from me. Now the car by now is about 20 something years old. Eh? You used it all those years. You had it for those years. And I say, buy the car from me because I am going to take it back. Answer me, my goodly people. You can now afford a new car. Will you buy a used car that you have used for 20 years or 15 years or what have you, when now you can afford a new car? Or will you buy yourself a new car and say, no, thank you, could you keep your car? But I appreciate having it to use during the time. All answer me that on the chat. Which one would you do? A 20-year-old car used by you, but you could afford one now. At the time, you couldn't afford one. You didn't know better. You had it. You got the good use out of it. But now you can afford a car. You are asked to buy the car now. Would you use that money to buy the car? Would you use the money to buy a new car? Joan said that she'll buy a new car. Anybody else? What would you do? Still say he buying a new car. Yes. Come on, people. All talk to me. Which one would you do? Definitely buying a new car, says Shanae. Come on, people. Shall me say a good working old thing better than a new thing any day. All right, Charmaine, you take the old car. Just know that when you buy the car, within a short number of years, there's a high chance that car is no longer roadworthy, or you may have to now pay to extensively repair and bring back the car. Okay. All right. So I need to follow somebody. Joan said I would buy the car I was using. Okay. Good evening, Diane. Good to see you. New and still fixed back his car because I appreciate what he did for me. All right. All right. So there are some people on the Facebook that I am not seeing. So Alison, good evening. I am now a relationship based on money cannot last. What happens when the money is done? We would both buy the old faithful car. Okay, nice. Charmin said I'll go fix up the old car to last me long. Pray that the person kept up the maintenance. Okay. So here's what most people say that. They say the time I take to buy a car that has been used for 20 years, because the lifespan of a vehicle before it starts giving certain amount of trouble, I think it's about 15 years. And then after that, you really have to change parts and so on. If that long, you certainly had to change tires and so on, but the wear and tear takes place. And then now you are, how long are you going to go into buying the car? And are you going to buy it for its remaining years? Or are you going to buy it and pay enough based on the fact that you had it using all the time? Anyway, but most people usually tell me they'll buy a new car. When you look at relationships, people, think hard. Think hard. Ladies, think hard. A man has been having sex with you for 5 years. You have not made marriage and commitment a requirement. He knows your body inside out. 6 years, 7 years, 8 years. He has been through it and he has not made no commitment. When you find that he is now of a certain age and he wants to settle down in his life and wants somebody steady, do you think he's going to most likely go to a used body, or would he want to start a new relationship that is full of fire and inspiration at that point in time? All you think about it. I'm going to go to a break and we'll be right back in just a while. I want to give you all, I want you all to share your ideas on the chat for me. Good evening, Carolyn. Thank you very much. All right, so we go to a break. We'll be right back for more on Mike at Night. Hey, if you are having difficulty in your marriage or in your relationship and you need someone to speak with privately and confidentially, then call me, Michael Stewart. We can do face to face or virtually any part of the world. If your relationship is worth saving, call 868 688 5363 or go to my website www.michaeletstewart.com. Don't wait until it's too late. Get counseling. Okay, my people. Let's see. All right, Joanne Benjamin said she's in a function and she listening. Joanne, you have your earplugs. Tulsi, on by the way, we are also on YouTube, LAB label YouTube. All right. Yeah, I mean, she'll put gas and oil in the new car. Good evening, Carolyn. Some men will. Oh my, they just said the video just went down. Internet just dropped for some reason. All right. I hope it dropped on Facebook. All right. When you really okay. All right. So I understand we're having some little technical difficulties, but I really want them to hear this one here because that one was crucial. All right. So while we sort this technical difficulty out, are we back now? All right. No, he's still scrolling. All right. You want to go to a break again? Hey, if you are having difficulty in your marriage or in your relationship and you need someone to speak with privately and confidentially, then call me, Michael Stewart. We can do face to face or virtually any part of the world. If your relationship is worth saving, call 868 688 5363 or go to my website www.michaeletstewart.com. Don't wait until it's too late. Get counseling. Okay, all right. So I hope that we are back. It's certainly not back on my end, but okay. Yes. Okay. So I understand that we are having some technical difficulties, but let me say it, and I may have to repeat it after. Most people, when I ask them that, say that they will go with the new car because they could afford the new car now. Allison says some men will go for the new car. Yes, and that is right. Here's what. Sometimes I've heard of people saying that they and the man getting along nice, nice, nice. And I'll tell you a true story of a lady. She and the man have been living together for years. I don't know if it's 8, 9 years or whatever it is, but it was a considerable number of years. And the lady loves the man. The man walks in one day and just said to her, I just got married down the road. She thought he was joking, but he was not joking. He got married. She never even knew he was seeing somebody else. He never even suspected anything else. What happened is that he now was ready to settle down, but he has been driving a car that is now used by him for so long now that he wanted fresh feelings and excitement, etc. And what he did was just go for somebody new. My warning to ladies, don't do that. If you are looking to settle down in a relationship with a man, make marriage a requirement. Make marriage something that is part of the conditioning. Don't just be there and when he's ready to move on, all he has to do is just move on and leave you. Don't do that at all. So, hope you all got that. So let me know. Are you all back on now? Are you all hearing me? Just let me know. Because we had some little trouble with the internet. Let me know if you're hearing me, if you're back on. Yes. Lenora Francis Moses, good evening. Alice John, good evening to you. Send up those hearts. Let me see them to make sure that you all are still with me, that the internet has not separated all of. Yes. Good night, good evening, Orville, Melville. Nice having you. But if you all are hearing me, just signal by just saying that I'm hearing you, right? Okay. All right. We're still having some drops in the internet. Yes, yes. So you see, they wouldn't get, you all would not get the full discussion. And it is. All right, people, we apologize on behalf of the network. These things do happen. Yes, Edwin Tulsi says internet giving trouble. But we're back. All right, nicely. Good. I hope those on Facebook back also. So I gave the illustration of having a used car that you have been using for all that time. Nobody else, you have been using it. It has been at your disposal. And now that you are ready, the person you are with is ready to settle down. The man who is using the car does not even want to buy the car that he has been using. And many times, that is what happens with a lot of relationships. That after the person have been with you all the time and they have sucked all your substance, they would really want to start fresh in this new journey. And I think the reason I got that analogy was because years ago, before I was even married, I had a camera, a Toshiba, a Canon camera, I think it was a Canon. Nice camera. A friend of mine who was unemployed said, he bored and he wanted to know if he could use the camera to be able to at least occupy himself because he'd be frustrated and so on. I love my camera. It's an expensive camera. I lent him the camera. and he kept it. I think he kept it for about a year and a half. It was just supposed to lend him for a short time, but the man kept it for a long period of time. So by the time now, I tell myself, well, I don't want back that camera again. So he might as well just buy it because he has been one using it. So I said, well, why don't you just buy the camera and keep it? Because you've kept it for about a year and a half already. He said, I could buy a whole camera, Stuart. Yes, see, I better go and buy a new camera. And that is what hit me. Yes, sir. All right, thank you. Glad to hear that you all are hearing me. The young man told me he buy no camera. He said that get the camera. I said, but you have been the one using the camera. He said, he don't care. He would rather buy a new camera. But when you listen to how people have been operating in relationships, I realize that even that is evident. That somebody does not want to, having been in an uncommitted relationship. Not everybody now. Let me make sure I put in that caveat. Not everybody, but a lot of people don't want to be using things. And when they're ready to start fresh in life, to be able to go with that same. Okay. There are some who would realize the commitment, as I think was Charmaine and others said, and they would want to stay in that commitment because the person stayed with them all the time. So now that they're ready to settle down, they would rather stay with this person that they know. Agreed. All right, Andre said, what if she's hurting you and trying to fix it, but all you're trying, nothing ain't changing? So tell me what you're thinking is the best idea. Well, you see, the relationship has gone so far. So those are the messed up situations that we always get. Messed up situation because we've been hanky pankying for so long. We've been going along this route for so long. By the time all of those evidence of your bad behavior and your issues have surfaced, it make it difficult, almost a conscience issue. Sorry, you don't stay because you want to stay, because you're obligated to stay. And I don't think that should be a relationship status. I think you should stay because this is the person you love, and this is the person. If the person is not perfect, person has the issues, but this is the person that you want to stay with. You must stay voluntarily and not because, well, they have been so kind to me and it will look bad if I leave and so on. Yeah. Yeah, yes. And that is why I'm afraid to start off the 5 steps because that all right. Edwin Tulsi said that young man is a smart man. I wonder which man she was talking about. Oh, which man you talking about? The one with me camera? Don't call him smart at all, you know. He's a smart man. Oh, that's what you mean. Oh, no, they make, when they're using, they don't say smart man. Smart man. So it's one word. All right, so the internet says waiting for live video. The broadcast is waiting for a signal. It should resume shortly. What a day. What a day. Lyndon say he owes me rent. My boy, Lyndon, my boy did not even countenance me. My boy did not even say thank you for the use of the camera. And he brought it back, used, damaged, because it weren't here. And there are some parts on it that he really did damage. Lens scratch because he wasn't putting on back the cover, etc. So he not gonna buy that. He not gonna pay rent for that. No, sir. All right. It look as though we might have to end early tonight at the way things going. Uh, would that make a difference? All right. So how do we do that now? Yeah, yeah, but no, that is just 15 minutes. Yeah, 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 yeah. So the Problem is down at your end. Okay. Yeah. Yes, Andre. Thanks for sharing that, Andre. Appreciate it. Charmaine gave you an answer. He said she would leave. She would leave. Um, yeah. The 5 steps, we'll hold it for next week because we are down to more than 3 quarters of the program. And we had to delay it because of all of the internet interferences that we're having. So I don't want to do it, wouldn't give it justice if I go into that now. All right, so let's just communicate. You just share with me your feedback online, and let's chat through the rest of the remaining minutes that we do have. Shall we have to get a do-over? All right, so I think I would promise you all a do-over. I may give that do-over before Thursday. I may consider doing that do-over before Thursday. So listen out for it, so that we could get this one out of the way, and then we still start back with our usual Thursday session. But this is how life is. You can't really, there are some things in life that you do not have control over. All right, so let me give you the other aspects that I wanted to talk. We'll just talk now about the things that we do that probably messing up our chances in life. So I said that you're going to get set back financially, you're going to get set back emotionally, you're going to get set back chronologically because of the revolving door syndrome of relationships. You are getting older by the day. And before you know it, you wake up and you recognize you have aged and you have no settling down to do. I heard somebody say this, and I believe it. After your job, your career, all of those relationships that you've enjoyed and you've had a nice time partying, and how many women and men that you had and so on, at the end of your years, when you are ready to settle down at the end of your days, you have one thing to go back to. Not your job, because by then you would have retired. They don't want you. They'll give you a gold watch or a couch. And they're not even giving that these days. It's not your career you're going to go back to. You do not go back to your bank account, because the bank account by then has been consumed with medical bills. One thing you and I go back to is a home. And when we didn't spend the time building a home, we end up with only a house. And a home and a house are two different things. A house is the structure that you spend so much money and paid the bank millions for, that you could have bought twice with the interest. That house that you're so proud of is all that many people now go back to because they do not have a home. Never forget, a gentleman told me he has 8 children. I think it was 8 children. All of them have good jobs. But he said, I never mind none of them. He said, I'm old now and I'm retired and I'm weak and I can't run woman no more. He said, I live by myself. My voice echo in the house. He said, it's a sad, sad experience. Where did it get him? All the time he was aging and he never saw it because he was handsome. He's a ladies' man and all of that. Where did it get him? Yeah. Um. All right. Yes, Andre. I that's why I don't want to go on to the 5 steps in securing the relationship because people not hearing. Um, and Lyndon said he has to pay for wear and tear. He had no intention of paying for nothing. Timothy said he has in-laws that like to borrow and don't give back. Yes. So we keep looking for love in all the wrong places, my dear people. Here are some of the places that we look for love. Those ladies with those long nails, yes, listen up to me. In money, and you will never find love in money. Those high maintenance ladies, I'm telling you. And you know, I was very happy to see the number of women who did not agree with these ladies who on that rant. You don't find love in money at all because money is finite. Love is infinite or infinite, as some people put it. But love does not end. This is why Christ says, faith, hope, and love, these three, but the greatest is love. There's no end to love. But money can always come to an end. And here's what about money. Money is so deceitful. This deceitfulness of riches, it ends almost overnight. A gentleman told me, he said, he was a very good friend of mine. He said he had so much money in the bank that he became a bit snobbish. He went in a restaurant and that somebody must have given him some service he didn't like. And he told the person, I could buy you. He said he told her that. He said, I felt shame now, looking back. He said 1 year later, my account was reading about $5. He's a man who had so much the year that he told her that. And he said in no time, he lost it all. Never thought he would have come down to that. So we look for love in all the wrong places. What is the topic that and that's a song, eh? But I'm just remembering that Dr. Ward was bringing a topic next week that has a song in it, but she twists the song. This song. I wonder if Dr. Ward is on to just tell us what is that topic this week. Dr. Ward, if you're on, just let me know what that topic is. I know it's a song. Crystal Phillips says, secure your home now so you can enjoy a future with someone you truly love. Absolutely. Absolutely. Right. Okay. So let's talk about that now. Looking for love in all. Money is not it, ladies.